So now in the last class, we were discussing about avalanche photodiodes, okay, and photodiode detector. So finally, the whole concept is very simple. So what is the first concept? See, one is what optical generator, that is fine. So now the photo detector. Photo detector means what? We have to detect the light and we have to convert the light into the electrical energy. Okay. See, once I feel, it is not a matter. I have to express that what I felt. Okay. Same thing applies here also. So I can recognize that the photon, the light is incidented. So once it is in amount of light is incident, current I need to produce. That is what exactly the basic idea of pin photodiode. Okay, you can so in the last class we have gone through all these things. So up to avalanche photodetector we have seen. So advantages and disadvantages we have seen. So now we will have the comparison. Okay, so this particular comparison also we can consider. So when you are comparing the pin diode and avalanche photodetector or avalanche photodiode, okay, pin diode, avalanche photodiode, two comparison we are going to do it. So with respect to what are the parameters, with respect to the bandwidth, with respect to the wavelength range, with respect to the dark current produced, with respect to the bias voltage, okay, sensitivity, efficiency, bit rate, diode significant parameter, okay. So all those things we are going to consider. When we are considering all these things, okay, so what is the first parameter? Bandwidth. So now you compare the bandwidth when you are using the pin diode. See, one thing is clear. Why we require different devices for the same operation? Why? Because all devices will not perform with every parameter equally. So there may be okay, and there should be some changes because depend we must see pin diode is converting the pin diode is performing the action. Avalanche photodiode is also performing the same action. Conversion of optical energy into electrical energy it is performing. When they are doing, when these two things are doing the same operation, why we require another? Okay, so once we have the provision of pin diode conversion, why we require a avalanche photodiode? Why we require some other photodiode? Why we require? That is a question arises because there are some parameters which the technical has been changed. Okay, so what are the technical specification changes you can able to see? And up to what? Sorry, network. When is audible? Okay, fine. Okay, maybe audible for you people. Fine, I agree. So now, when we are talking about this one, comparison of photo detector. So bandwidth, if it is very high, so with respect to the pin diode, so up to what? So what is about to what the bandwidth is available. But in the avalanche photo diode, it is high only, but up to what range? It is some from like 1.5 to 3.5 gigahertz. That is a range. So bandwidth range they have given, that is 1.5 to 3.5 gigahertz. It is low, which is very low compared to the pin diode, but still for conversion it is high only. Okay, so when you talk with when you are not comparing with anything, so the value 1.5 to 3.5 gigahertz, it is also good. So now wavelength range when you are talking about, so wavelength range is what 1.1 micrometer to 1.7 micrometer with respect to the pin diode, 1.1 to 1.7 micrometer. So when you're talking about the avalanche photodiode, it is 0.4 to 1 micrometer. It is 0.4 to 1 micrometer. So here wavelength range is very less. Okay, that also you can make a note of it. Avalanche photodiode wavelength is less and bandwidth is also less. So dark current, the next parameter is dark current. What is dark current? Dark current is the current even though when we don't incident any light, the circuit itself some amount of current. That particular current is called as dark current. So when there is a dark, that means what? There is no light, it is called a dark condition. In that dark condition also current is generating, that is called a dark current, we say. So that particular generation of dark current in the PIN diode, it is 1 to 10 nanoamperes. So nanoamperes is somewhat, okay. So good quantity only. Why? Because when you're talking about amperes, see, when we are using in our labs and all, we can see that current less and voltage range will be more. So current is more means what? Power will also, okay. So that is why current we cannot neglect. So when you're talking about the voltage, this much voltage generation, it is very negligible. But when you're talking about current, we cannot neglect. So 1 to 10 nanoamperes. Dark current will be 1 to 10 nanoamperes. And avalanche photodiode, so it will be 0.1 to 1 nanoamperes. Since it is having less range, generation of dark current is also for less only. So 0.1 to 1 nanoamperes. But the PIN diode range itself is starting from 1 to 10 nanoamperes. Okay, so this is the fourth difference. So when talking about the fourth difference, it is less than, okay, 0.05 to 0.5 seconds. Okay, so it will ranging from 0.05 to 0.5 seconds, but the rise time is comparatively greater in the avalanche photodiode. What is that range? So same thing, 0.1 to 0. After 0.5 seconds, it started to get the rise. That is what the condition. Between 0.1 to, it is maybe 0.1 to 0.5, it may be happening. So okay, so rise time will be 0.05 to 0.5. So in the PIN diode, it is 0.005 to 0.5 and lesser. But when you're talking about an avalanche photodiode, it is 0.1 to 0.5 or greater. That is the thing. So now when you're talking about the PIN diode, the bias voltage is less. See, the requirement of bias voltage is very important. So if we are able to provide more bias voltage, so that if we are not offering that much of high voltage, okay, so you see that bias voltage requirement is what? Less than 5 voltage in PIN diode. So less than 5 voltage is a good thing. Okay, why? Because all our normal batteries, okay, in the like wall clock batteries, everyday batteries, okay, so Duracell, all those things are made to work in 5 volts. Okay, many batteries. Like that, if you are using less than 5 volts, that is very easy, feasible. But the same thing when I am talking about avalanche photodiode, it is greater than 20 to 400. 40 to 400 volts is a very good, very huge quantity. So that much we need to give. Okay, so that much we need to give as a voltage. So in order to get the avalanche photodiode, photo detection action to happen. So bias voltage is less than 5 volts when I am talking about in PIN diode, and it will be greater than 20 to 400 volts in the avalanche photodiode. So when you are talking about sensitivity, okay, so sensitivity means what? Sensitive to what is the question? If it is sensitive to light, it is good. If it is not sensitive to outer surface, it is difficult. So with respect to sensitivity, PIN diode is having less sensitive and avalanche photodiode is having more sensitivity. So here sensitivity is with respect to the photon only. Don't think that sensitivity is with respect to the outer noise. So it is, we are talking about sensitivity with respect to the photon detection only. PIN diode is less sensitive and avalanche photodiode is high sensitive. Okay, so since to get high sensitivity only, we are giving more bias voltage. Okay, so now efficiency, when you're talking about efficiency, both are having good efficiency, high efficiency, because they are made to work in this particular technical parameters. They will definitely work. So efficiency is high, and here also there also efficiency is high. So when you're talking about the bit rate, so bit rate is with the PIN diode, it is high up to 53 GB, up to 53 gigabits per second. So that much amount of generation of thing is going to happen. So bit rate, but when you're talking about an avalanche photodiode, it is up to 4 Gbps. So it is 4 Gbps. So when I compare this to, so it is high. So in the PIN diode, bit rate is high, and then avalanche photodiode in the bit rate is low. Okay, so like that, diode significance parameter. See, what is the significance? We say that when you are using the pin diode and all, what is the significance? What is the special feature? So here the diode significant parameter is the response. Diode significant parameter is what? Responsivity R. So, and when you're talking about avalanche photo detector, it is avalanche gain M. Avalanche gain M. So these are the parameters. I just go through it and I just make a note of this particular thing for 1 minute. Please go through it. So after this one, we'll go to the comparisons, the summary of the comparison. Okay. The first comparison is what a pin diode gives higher bandwidth and bit rate. Pin diode gives higher bandwidth and higher bit rate. Okay, because once if they ask you explain the comparison or give the comparison between pin diode and avalanche photodiode, so we must in a position to write this particular answer. So well, in that case, we need to give the comparison. So with respect to the comparisons, we can say that pin gives higher bandwidth and higher bit rate. So avalanche photo gives higher sensitivity. So here, see, once we tell that the pin gives higher bandwidth and bit rate, that indicates that avalanche will give lesser bit rate. So here avalanche photodiode gives higher sensitivity. So that means what pin diode gives a lower sensitivity, a lesser sensitivity. So later, next thing is what SI works. Okay, silicon works only up to 1100 nanometers. So when you are using the semiconductor material, see, diode means what? It is a formation by using the semiconductor. So in that case, if you are using the silicon as a material of semiconductor, it works only up to 1100 nanometer. Whereas if you want to get the more bandwidth, also more wavelength, so we can go for indium gallium arsenide combination. So when we are going for indium gallium arsenide combination, we can get the wavelength up to 1700 nanometer. And if you want to increase further, so we can go for gallium, so GE. So if you are using the GE, it will get up to 1800 nanometer. That's so silicon works up only up to 1000 nanometer. Indium gallium arsenide works up to 1700 nanometer. And gallium or germanium, I think GE means germanium. Germanium will works up to 1800 nanometer. So in the indium gallium arsenide, it has a higher efficiency. So higher neta. Okay, neta means what? Efficiency, higher neta for pin diode. But germanium has higher M. Okay, higher M for APD. What is that particular? So higher M means what? Here I can see that last rightmost last, it is avalanche gain. So I can say that the gain will be higher if you are using the germanium as a semiconductor for avalanche photodiode. Okay, that is the thing. And the last thing is what indium gallium arsenide has a lower dark current. Okay, so if you don't want to reduce, if you want to reduce the dark current, and if you don't want to generate unnecessary current, so obviously we can go for a semiconductor where we can observe, or where we can see that lesser darker current. So lesser dark current means what? It can be produced only in indium gallium arsenide. So that is the thing. So this particular comparison also very important thing. Just go through this particular few points and make a note of it. So once you've done this one, okay, we'll move on to the next slide. So here we can see that noise in photodetector. Okay. So here the next question. Okay, once we understood that how we are converting that particular light energy into electrical energy, that is the process we understood. So now that particular process is been understood with respect to the device property or the dark current and ideal condition, that is no noise is been incorporated. That is what exactly we understood. Now what happens if the noise is there in the photodetector? So what will be there? So you can see that in optical fiber communication system, the photodetector is required to detect very weak optical signal also. Okay. So if it is required to detect very weak optical, better signal to noise ratio, the following conditions to be met. Okay, so now we understand that when we design our photodetector or optical detector, what is the condition? So it has to detect the weaker optical signal also. Some small amount of light is also there, that also should be converted. Then only we can say that yes, it is working properly. So now, in order to achieve the better signal to noise condition, some of the parameters we need to maintain. So what are the particular parameter? The photodetector must have the high quantum efficiency. So yes, quantum efficiency, last class we understood what is the quantum efficiency. So it is a ratio of how much power or how much electric current is being generated to the how much light energy is being incidented. Okay, to total amount of electrical energy generated divided by total amount of optical energy which is imposed. So in the equation we might have seen that it is a number of electrons generated divided by number of photons incidented. So photon means what? Light energy. Electron means what? Electricity. So both are the photodetector must have the high quantum efficiency. That's the first thing. The second thing you can make a note of it, that is detector and amplifier noise should be kept as low as possible. That means what should be kept means what we cannot keep it by using the button. So we need to maintain that particular situation. Okay, and we have to make sure that okay. So photodetector and amplifier noise should be kept as low as possible. So next thing is what happens. Next parameter, signal to noise ratio means what? So you can see the signal to noise ratio. It is the power signal to noise ratio of the optical receiver is identified or defined by the power signal to noise ratio of the optical receiver is defined by signal to noise ratio S divided by N is equal to signal power from the photocurrent divided by photodetector noise plus amplifier noise power. So signal power from the photocurrent divided by photodetector noise plus amplifier noise power. So this particular thing will give the signal to noise ratio. So you please make a note of this particular equation and sentences. So here what exactly happens? Signal to noise ratio. It is given in the formula. It is the signal power from photocurrent divided by photodetector noise plus amplifier noise power. So once you take this thing, so we can go for the next equations. Let the overall signal power is IP square is equal to IP square into M square equal to IS square. The overall noise is equal to IN square equal to IDB square plus IQ square plus IDS square plus IT square. So what is saying is where IQ square equal to 2Q IP BM square F into M, this quantum noise current. So B stands for bandwidth, F of M stands for noise figure, IP stands for photocurrent, and M stands for avalanche gain. So these are the things you can just note down the equations. Okay, so that's all. There is no derivations and all. So much ever it is possible to remember the equations and you can write it. You can able to do it. So next set of equations, I can see that